Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome to my channel. So we'll continue with our journey. So today we'll cover some new set of questions, but basically the same product rule. So we are re-emphasizing on product rule. So product rule is very broad, so we just have to answer as many questions as possible. Yeah. So product rule, for those who remember, if you have functions which are multiplied together, let's say these functions are u and v, and you want to differentiate is prime. Okay, so how do you differentiate when they are multiplied together? You keep u, then differentiate v, then you add u differentiated, and then you keep v constant. So it's the same as u prime, then you keep v constant, plus u. So the one you differentiate here, this time this side you are not differentiating it. This one which you didn't differentiate here, this side you are differentiating. Okay, so it's just picking u and v, then differentiate. Okay, so you differentiate v, differentiate u, then apply the formula. Yeah, straightforward. So first question, f of x equals to x to the power 3. Is it x to the is x to the power 5, sorry. So it's x to the power 5, and then okay, cos 2x, cos 2x. Okay, so you need just to identify the two functions. So you have this and this function. Okay, so we are differentiating using product rule. So that's what the question said, differentiate using product rule. So you pick any. You can pick any to be u, you can pick any to be v. So you say, let's say u is x to the power 5. Okay, so what is u prime? U prime, you are differentiating this function. So differentiating x to the power 5, those who remember from our previous video, you drop the 5, then you subtract the power by 1, so 5 minus 1. So this will be 5 x to the power 4. That is your u. Then v will be this last part, cos 2x. Okay, so meaning now you differentiate this function. So v prime is equals to, so derivative of cos is what? Negative sign, and so you just take out the constant here. What's the coefficient of x is 2, so the coefficient comes here, 2x. Yeah, for those, I emphasize this. If you're differentiating, let's say a x, if you differentiate this, you take out a, then cos ax. Okay, so if you have cos ax, you take out the a, then it will be negative now since it's sign. Okay, negative sign ax. This is when you're differentiating this will give you this, differentiating this will give you this. A can be any number, it can be 10, so in this case it's 2. So you take out the 2, then what is the derivative of cos? Is sign, negative sign. Okay, yeah, so now you apply the formula, u v prime equal to, so you can say u, then v prime plus u prime v. Okay, so now you just put in the values. U, what is u? Is x to the power 5. What is v prime? V prime is what? This one, negative 2 sine 2x, plus what is our u prime? U prime is this one, 5x to the power 4. And then what is v? V is cos 2x. Okay, so we can further simplify. This will be negative 2x to the power 5 sine 2x plus 5x to the power 4 cos 2x. So let's make it more mathematical. Okay, so we can factorize the x to the power 4. So we can say x to the power 4. So here what will remain here, we have negative 2x, because x to the power 4 multiplied by x, it will be x to the power 5. Okay, sine 2x plus 5 cos 2x. Sorry. Okay. Just like this. Okay, 2x. So this is your answer. Okay. So that is 1. So number 2 now. So number 2, we're applying the same formula. Number 2 is x squared plus okay, seems can copy it. Okay, so this says f of x equal to, check this, x squared plus 3x, okay, plus 3x, then cos x, okay, cos x, then cos x. Okay, so same applies. So you get, they have two functions, this one and this one. So you pick one to be u. So let's say u is x squared plus 3x. Then u prime, meaning you are differentiating this function. Okay, so here you drop down the 2. Then 2 minus 1. Okay, plus, I said when you only have 10x, when you differentiate this, will be just 10. Negative 10x. Differentiate this, will be just negative 10. 2x, when you differentiate this, it will just be 2. Okay, 3x, when you differentiate this, it will just be 3. So we don't have to write this. So we just write 3. Okay, because the power of x is 1. So the derivative of this is the coefficient. Okay, so meaning u prime is 2x plus 3. Okay, good. So let's, our v, meaning our v is this one, cos x, meaning our v prime is, what's the derivative of cos x? Is negative sine x. Okay, great. Now let's apply the formula. uv prime equal to u prime v plus u v prime. Okay, so what is our u prime? Our u prime is 2x plus 3. What is our v? Our v is cos x plus, what is our u? Our u is x squared plus 3x. Okay, then what is our v prime? V prime is negative sine x. Okay, so we can further simplify this. Okay, let's see. Can we further simplify this? So okay, we can take out x's. But this one no need, I think. Okay, no need of simplifying it further, minus, so it will be sine x, and then you have this x squared plus 3x. Okay, so this is your what? Your answer. Okay, great. So this is v u prime. Okay, that's how you differentiate using product rule. Then number 3, is quite big, so let me just copy this and paste it here. Okay, So we are on 3 now. So 3 is f of x equals to x to the power 3 plus 2x, which is sine x plus cos 3x. So like I said, you pick one to be u, you pick one to be v. Okay, so let's say u is our first term. U is x to the power 3 plus 2x. So u prime, so you just drop down. Now you know we've been doing this for a long time. So you drop down the 3, then 3 minus 1, which is 2. No need to write a minus. And then we know that this is the power of x is 1, so it will be just 2. Okay, you need to be getting used. Okay, v equals to sine x plus cos 3x. Okay, so v prime, you differentiate sine, it will be cos x. Then this one, you take out this, the coefficient of x. So first you write plus 3. Okay, great. Then what's the derivative of a cosine? It's negative sine 3x. Okay, so v prime equals to cos x minus 3 sine 3x. Okay, so now you apply the formula uv equal to, let's say u, okay, this time v prime plus u prime v. Okay, so what is u? U is x to the power 3 plus 2x. Okay, and what is our v prime? Our v prime is this, cos x minus 3 sine 3x. Okay, plus what is our u prime? Our u prime is 3x squared plus 2. Running out of space. Okay, then what is v? V is sine x plus cos 3x. Okay, so let me write it. I think I have more room here. uv equal to, so right, we just rewrite plus 2x sine plus 2x squared plus 2 sine x plus cos 3x. Okay, so this is your answer. All right, so let's go to 4. 4 okay, so 4, you write it here. So f of x is equals to, so we have exponential 2x 3 sine. So exponential 2x sine 3x. Okay, then x squared tan 2x. X squared tan 2x. Okay, so here, if you've seen, we have this term is multiplied by this term. This term is multiplied by this term. So we'll perform multiple products rule. So we'll first solve this part, then we'll also solve this part. Okay, using product rule, because we have x squared tan x, then e to the power 2x. Okay, so for this part, so let's start with part. Let's say this is part 1, this is part 2. So part 1, let's say we have a function e to x. So we'll add at the end because it's too big, we can't find it at once. Okay, so this is u, this is v. Okay, so let's say u equals to exponential 2x. Okay, meaning u prime. Okay, how do you differentiate exponential? Just drop down the 2. Okay, 2 e to the power 2x. Okay, that's how you differentiate. Then v equals to sine 3x. So v prime is just 3 cos 3x. Okay, great. So now u, v u, okay, u v, let's write like this, equals to u prime v plus u v prime. So what's our u prime? U prime is 2e to the power 2x. What is v? V is sine 3x plus what is u? U is e to the power 2x. What is v prime? 3 cos 3x. Okay. This is just 2e to the power 2x sine 3x plus, so this is just 3e to the power 2x cos. Okay, so we can take out, we know e to the power x, the exponential part is common, so we can take it out. So we have 2 sine 3x plus 3 cos 3x. So this is the answer for part 1. This is when you differentiate part 1. Okay, so now let's go to part 2. Part 2 is x squared tan 2x. So part 2, let's say our f of x this time is x squared tan 2x. Yeah, I think it's like this. Okay. Yeah, so here again you pick which one your u, you also pick your v. Okay, so u is x squared, so meaning u prime is what? You drop the 2, subtract the power by 1, and we just have 2x. Okay, so v is tan 2x. So what is the derivative of tan? So u prime, when you differentiate tan, so everything, as long as there is a constant here, a constant has to come out. Then what's the derivative of a tan? Sec squared. Okay, so this is a derivative. So if it's just tan x, the derivative, it will be just sec squared x like this. That's a derivative of tan. You need to know those identities. So wherever you are differentiating something with a number here, you take the number in front. Okay, then perform normal differentiation. Okay, so now let's apply our formula. uv equals to uv prime plus u prime v. Okay, so here what is your u? Your u is x squared. And what is your v prime? Your v prime is 2 sec squared 2x. Okay, plus what is your u prime? Your u prime is 2x. Okay, then what is your v? Your v is tan 2x. Okay, so this is 2x squared sec squared 2x plus 2x tan 2x. Okay, so here we take out the 2x, I think, yeah, it's common. So here you have x, you're factorizing so that the question becomes more compact. That's what is desirable. It has to look smaller. So this is your answer for part 2. So meaning now, f of x prime, which is the derivative. So when you write your answer, final answer, you just need to be putting f of x prime. I explained in my first video that this means differentiation or dy dx. Okay, so now let's take our first part. Our first part is this one, e exponential okay, so 2x, this is sine 2 sine 3x plus should be 3 cos 3x. Is it? Okay, great. Yeah, that's right. Then you're adding this part because it's one function. 2x x 6 squared 2x plus time 2x. Okay, yeah, so this is your answer. This very giant. So you can just quickly remove this part. Sorry, so we were differentiating f of x, so you need to write your final answer has to be f of x prime, because that's a derivative. Okay, yeah, so just remove at the final end. You know, you are not differentiating uv. This is just a formula to calculate. When you find the answer, you put f of x prime equals to the answer you found. Okay, so now let's go to the other question. Okay, so now we go to number 5. Okay, number 5. We are on number 5 now. So f of x equals to ln x over x to the power 3. So there are those who if you haven't watched my previous videos, please do that, because we are using the same knowledge over and over. So here we have, okay, have we raised? Okay, so here ln x. So here there are those I taught to say if you have 2 to the power negative 2, this is same as 1 over 2 power 2 index or indices or radicals. I showed that this and this, they are the same. So here we have to take it to the numerator for us to perform product rule. We are not doing quotient rule here. So f of x, meaning this one at the denominator, when it goes on top, it will have a negative power. So you have ln x, then x to the power negative 3. Okay, this and this, they are the same according to rules of indices. So you have f of x, let me just write it in front. Okay, like this. Okay, great. So now you have these parts. You have this, it can be your u, this can be your v. Okay, so let's say now u equal to x to the power negative 3, meaning u prime, you drop down the negative, so you have negative 3. Then the power, what do you do with the power? You subtract 1, so negative 3 minus 1. Okay, so this time the power is increasing. Okay, so be careful. You just have when you're subtracting, negative 3 minus 1 is to be negative 4. Negative 4. Okay, so let's say v now. V equals to natural log of x. So what is your v prime? Okay, so ln x, when you differentiate ln x, it's just 1 over x, opposite of integration. When you integrate this, it will give you this. When you differentiate this, when you for example, they tell you to say, what say we integrate this, it will give you this. You differentiate this to give you this. So natural log x, when you differentiate it, is 1 over x. Okay, great. So now let's use our formula. U v prime equal to u, let's say uv plus u, now v prime. Okay, so what's your u prime? Negative 3x to the power negative 4. Okay, what is your v? Natural log x plus, what is your u? X to the power negative 3. Okay, and then what is your v prime? V prime is 1 over x. Okay, so 1 over x, if you know, is same as 1 to the power negative 1. For those who know math, I've just shown there on top here. If you have 1 over x, it's just the same as x as power 1. It will be x to the power negative 1. Okay, nothing complicated here. You can keep it at the denominator, it's the same. You can say this over x, it's the same thing. Okay, so we just have to be knowing things. That's how you learn mathematics. So this is the same as negative 3 over x to the power 4 indices. Okay, so the negative power now becomes positive at the denominator, natural log x plus, so this, when you're multiplying same base, you add the power, so this is x to the power what, 4, 3 plus negative 1, negative 4. Okay, so let's write it as a positive index. So you have negative 3 over x to the power 4, natural log of x, plus this will be 1 over x to the power 4. Yeah, taken it to be positive. So now we can take out the 1 over x to the power 4 because it's common. So here we have negative 3 natural log of x, plus here it will be just 1. So this is your f of x prime. So we can't write uv now. This is your final answer. Okay. So this was about what, 5? Okay, 5. Quite a lengthy 5. Let's go to 6. Okay, so 6 is x cubic sine 2 x cubic sine 2x over cos 2x. So it's like this. Okay, so sine x over cos x is always tan x. This, you need to know this. Sine over cosine is tan x. So here there is 2, so it will be tan 2x. So f of x equals to x tan 2x. This is an identity. So sine over cosine is tangent. But here, since we have 2, so we just maintain the 2. Okay, so know this identity. Sine over cosine equals to tangent. Okay, so now we can apply our product rule. So we have our u, we have our v. So we can say now u is x to the power 3, meaning u prime is, we bring down the 3, power minus 1, so 3 minus 1, 2. Okay, so v is tan 2x, v prime is, so first of all you take out the 2. I said what's the derivative of a tan? 6 squared. Okay, like that. Okay, so now we have uv, I'm waiting to this, okay, goes to u prime v plus uv prime. Okay, so what's your u prime? U prime is 3x squared. What is v? Tan 2x. Plus, what is your u? X cubic. What is your v prime? 2 sec squared 2x. Okay, So this, let me write this now. Okay, tan 2x plus the 2 to the power 3 sec squared 2x. Okay, so now we can take out the x squared. So here we have 3 tan 2x plus 2. Here there will be only x since x squared is outside. Okay, so this is your f of x prime. That's a differential. Okay, this is number 6. Now we go to 7. Yeah, so many questions. Oh, okay. Number 7. So number 7, we have f of x equal to x plus 3 sine x. Okay, then 3 plus tan x. Okay, so here the easy way is you can pick to be, so you have how many functions do we have here? Okay, so we can consider this as one function, this as one function, or this as one function, then this also as one function. It's up to you, so you choose which one is easier. Okay, so which one do you think is easier? Okay, so which one is easier? Which one makes our work easier? Okay, so I feel if we pick this as our u and this as our v, it will be easier. But for us to differentiate this, we also use product rule. Okay, so we have product rule inside the product rule. Okay, so we have a product rule inside the product rule. Yes, because this, you're multiplying two functions. So here you have a function as well. Okay, so first of all, I feel let's first find the derivative of this so that it becomes one function. After it becomes one function now, then that's when we can say we can apply the last part of our differentiation. Okay, so let's say let's say f of x temporarily equals to sine x 3 plus in fact I've just remembered there's a way we can simplify this, okay, without hassling for all this part. Okay, so if we can do something here, okay, x plus 3, so let's multiply sine throughout inside this bracket, so we'll have 3 sine x plus, we know tan x is so tan x is sine x over cos x. And now if you multiply, no, I think we'll make the question more complex. No need. Okay, let's just stick to the area method. This can run us into trouble. I thought x would sine would cancel. Now this is tan. At least if it was sec, the sine would have been at the bottom, then it would have cancelled. Okay, so no need. So let's say sine x 3 plus, so this plus tan x. So we can say this is our u, this is our v. So u equals sine x, meaning, sorry, u prime is, differentiating sine is cos x, and then our v is 3 plus tan x. Okay, v prime is, when you differentiate a constant, 0. Okay, it's just a number. Okay, and then when you differentiate tan x, we have been meeting this for quite some time, so this will be your answer. Okay, so u v will be u prime v plus u v prime. So what is u prime? U prime is cos x. What is v? V is 3 okay, 3 plus tan x plus, what is u? What is u? U is sine x. Okay, and then sine x, this is u. Okay, sine x, and then v prime is x squared x. Okay, so we have this question, we have this part. Okay, so we can rewrite it nicely. We say cos x 3 plus tan, okay, sorry, so this is plus tan x plus sine x squared x. Okay, so temporarily this is our f prime, but we know this is not our answer because it's just a part of this question. So we'll set this as our u and hold this as our v. So we have v, we know v is this function here. Then v prime is this answer we found here. Hope you guys understand. The whole function is, okay, so you have f of x this is the function, but we couldn't apply it directly because this function also requires product rule for us to find. So we say this is u, and this whole part is v. Okay, so what we were doing, we were finding v prime because we were differentiating this part. Okay, so now let's say u now, u is what? X plus 3. U prime, differentiating x, just 1, coefficient is 1. Differentiating a constant, 0. Okay, so v is this function, or you just rewrite it. Okay, v prime, this function will differentiate it. Okay, don't forget this function we were differentiating. This is what is v prime. So v prime is cos x 3 plus, okay, tan x plus sine x squared x. Okay, so now we have everything we need. U, it will be u prime v plus u v prime. So what is our u prime? Our u prime is 1. This is u prime 1. Okay, not write it. Okay, we can write anyway 1. What is our v? Our v is that function, so we write sine x 3 plus tan x. Okay, plus what is u? U is x plus 3. What is v prime? V prime is all this giant equation here. So okay, so meaning f of x prime is equal to sin x tan x and cos x v plus tan x plus I wanted to decompose this, but no need. Even if we decompose it, it won't change anything, so no need. Sec squared x. Okay, so this is your answer. Okay, it's a giant question. Okay, that's how we solve it. So first, what did we do? We divided these equations into u and v, but we realized v, for you to find v prime, you need to use product rule for you to find v prime. So that's what we were doing here. Finding v prime, we are supposed to use product rule because there are two functions which are applied together. Okay, so now let's go to part 8. Part 8. Okay, part 8. So part 8, f of x equal to exponential sin 3x okay, plus x cubic cos x mean 2x. Okay, so this is easy to solve because we have u and v, but this one is a combination of 3 functions. There is x cos x ln x. So here we'll have subsectors like u here, then also this part v solve. So our u is this, our v is this. But this one, for us to solve, is the same as the previous one we've been solving, because there are 3 functions. So we use a product rule to decompose this part. Then after decomposing it, we get our v prime. Okay, yeah, so that's how to handle this question. Okay, so let's first start with this function here. We'll write it as f of x equal to x cubic cos x and ln x. So if you see this question again, we have kind of 3 functions. So we have x, this, and this. There are 3 functions. So how do we deal with that? Okay, how do we deal with that? So you can set which one is easy to set u. So for this part as well, we also have our u and v. Okay, so this is u, and then this will be our v. But this one, before we come to join it, this part, we'll have our u and v inside. Okay, so before we okay, before we differentiate, because if we get u as this, v as this, u prime is also, we also uses product rule. Okay, so let's start. U is equals to what? X cubic cos x. Okay, but this also requires product rule to solve. Okay, the u here also requires product rule to solve. Yeah, so no wonder I wanted to use, let me just use something different other than u. Okay, so let me say this is our f of x again. All right. Okay, so we want to differentiate this for us to find u prime. Okay, but we can't use u because we need to use product rule as well. So our u is this, our v is this. So u equals to x cubic, meaning u prime is, we drop down the 3, subtract the power by 1, which is 2. Okay, our v is cos x, v prime is negative sine x. Okay, so let's say now apply our formula. V u prime equal to u prime v plus u v prime. So what is our u prime? Our u prime is vx squared. What is our v? Cos x. Plus what is u? U is x cubic. What is v prime? Negative sine x. Okay. So this will be 3x squared cos x minus x cubic sine x. Okay, mind you, this thing we are finding here, let's just write it as 1. This is just the u prime here. Hope you guys understand. Our u is x to the power 3 cos x. Okay, and our u prime is this function here, because this required the product rule for us to find u prime. Okay, x cos x minus squared, okay, x to the power 3 sine x. Okay, that is our u prime. Here we were finding u prime, so we can just we were using product rule again to find u prime. Okay, so our v is this. So our v is what? Natural log of x. Should be 2x, I think so. Oh yeah, 2x, sorry. So it's supposed to be 2x. This is natural log 2x. Okay. This is dirty. Let me write it nicely. Natural log 2x. So v prime, differentiating whatever number is here, as long as it's natural log, is 1 over x. Okay, so just know that if it's 20, it will be just 1 over x. That's a derivative. No, derivative of natural log with any coefficient is just 1 over x. Wait, so having said that, now this, let's come up with our uv, our function uv prime. This will be u prime v plus u v prime. Okay, so what is our u prime? U prime is vx squared cos x minus x cubic sine x. V is natural log of 2x. Okay, plus what is our u? Our u is x to the power 3 cos x. Okay, from there u v prime is multiplied by 1 over x. So let me continue from here. So uv bx squared cos x minus x to the power 3 sine x natural over 2x plus x and x, so we have x squared, we cancel, 1 will cancel, okay, cos x. So if you remember this question is too long, so if you remember this everything we are doing here, we are finding v prime. We are finding what? V prime. V, because v is everything here. So now we have our v, finally we have our v and we have our v prime. So our v now is this whole question here, this one here, x cubic cos x natural log 2x. Okay, so v prime is the whole this. Yeah, it's a giant question. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so sine. This is so much solving. Okay. Of course, you can take out the x squared, but no need at this point. X. Okay. So we have our v and we have our v prime. So now let's go to u. U, if you see u again, you also have to use product rule to get our u prime. We use product rule. So let's say u is e to the power 2x. Okay. E to the power 2 sine 3x. So that this one is easy. Sine 3x. Okay, great. So this is our u. So we'll say f of x, just put any arbitrary, okay, x to the power 2x sine 3x. So we can set this as u, we can set this as v, okay. So u equals to exponential 2x, u prime, differentiating exponential, I've been talking about this, we just talk the power 2x, okay. Then v is equals to sine 3x, v prime, so we just take out the 3 to the front and then differentiate. What's the derivative of sine? Cos 3x. Great. So you say uv, u prime v plus u v prime. Okay. So u prime is what? 2e to the power 2x. V is sine 3x plus u is what? E to the power 2x. V prime 3 cos 3x. Okay, so you can take out the e. So e to the power 2x, 2 sine 3x plus 3 cos 3x. Mind you, what is this? This is our u prime. Okay, so this is our u prime. Now that's when we solve our question now. So we have our v prime, we have our u, we have our u prime. Okay, so now let's solve. Let's now put everything together. So now let's apply the formula one last time. You hope you've been following. It's pretty easy. So it's just performing multiple differentiations. Okay, v prime. So what is our u prime? Our u prime is this equation exponential 2 sine 3x plus 3 cos 3x plus, oh sorry, this is just our u prime. Hey, where am I rushing to? Okay, then v, where is our v? So our v is this, okay. Okay, so it's a plus. Then let's come to u. What is u? U is to the power to x. U, the actual u, the actual u. Wait a minute, we can be lost. Oh, sorry, our u is here. Okay, sine 3x. Sine 3x. Okay, then what is our v prime? Our v prime is also a giant equation, this one. Is v what? Vx squared. Vx squared cos x. Minus x squared sine x. Okay. Oh, it's 3 here. So here is 3. Okay. Okay, natural log 2. Natural log 2x. So all this is what we're writing v prime. Okay, so let me just put a bracket here because it's too long. Plus x squared cos x. X squared cos x. So this is your answer. So we write now f of x prime equal to so we know we can keep this outside, it's common to both functions, so e equal to x. So write this 2 sine vx plus 3 cos vx x cubic cos x natural log 2x plus, so right, continue from here, sine vx in bracket, let me just use this bracket, carry over, it's okay. Vx squared cos x minus x to the power 3 sine x, okay, natural log 2x plus x squared cos x. So this is your answer, okay? It's a lot of work, okay? So this is your answer, but hope you've been following through. Okay, so this marks the end of our video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, have a blessed night. Thank you.